You're watching CITV with Jamie Moyer, left-handed pitcher of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Hello and welcome to another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Monday, May 8th, 2017. We're at the Plymouth Whitemarsh High School varsity baseball field for some Suburban One American baseball action between the Upper Dublin Cardinals of Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, and the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials of Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. The Cardinals come into this contest 4-9 overall and 2-8 in Suburban One American. The Cardinals are coached by Ed Wall. PW, meanwhile, 3-11 on the season, also 2-8 in Suburban One American. The Colonials are coached by fifth-year head coach Chris Minero, who is also a teacher at PW and the Ward 2 councilman for Plymouth Township. Now the Colonials are taking the field wearing the whites. Ed Wall's Cardinals, the two-time defending Suburban One American champion, will be batting first at the top of the first. So the batting order is as follows. Leading off for the Cardinals will be shortstop Justin Horn. Batting second will be second baseman Matt Hebling. Batting third will be center fielder J.T. Breslin. Batting fourth will be first baseman Max Weinberg. Batting fifth for the Cardinals is third baseman Tom Riley. In the sixth spot will be designated hitter Joey Monaghan. Batting seventh will be catcher Jason O'Gara. Batting eighth, left fielder Michael Sikanolfi. Batting ninth will be pitcher Ryan Bisaccio. Starting today for PW on the mound is Brett Bottinger. Bottinger this season has a 1.62 earned run average, 13 innings pitched, 8 appearances, 10 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 6 walks, 9 strikeouts. He has 1 wild pitch and has allowed 4 batters to steal on him. Dating back to 2009, these two teams have met up 19 times. Upper Dublin has won 10 of the 19. PW had won 9. Upper Dublin comes into this matchup winners of each of the last 6 against the Colonials. The most recent matchup between these two teams came this season in Fort Washington. That came back on April 18th. It was a 2-1 Upper Dublin win. In the bottom of the 7th was a walk-off. Now leading off for the Cardinals will be Justin Horn, the shortstop. PW has not been to the postseason since 2014. It'll look to be the third straight year they won't make it. And the first pitch now from Bottinger. And it is a little high, 1-0 to Justin Horn. Matt Hebling will be next. Bottinger has his signs. And he'll deliver, and that ball has wings to center. Then it will be caught. 1 away. Noah Goldstein makes the put out. On 2 pitches, it is a fly out to center. Mac Hebling will be next. Upper Dublin has struggled scoring runs this season, just 27 total in 13 games. Out of the 27, only 1 had come from first innings. Just 1 first inning run this season so far for Upper Dublin. And that is outside, 1-0 to Hebling. J.T. Breslin, the center fielder, is on deck. It's 0-0, 1 out, top of the first. 1-0 to count to Hebling. Hebling will step out as time is called. Kevin Riley is behind the plate for PW. And that's low, 2-0. So you got Riley. So you got 2-0 to count now for Hebling. That's outside 3-0. Manager's got to settle down. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out, top of the first. And that is in there for a called strike. 3-1 to count now to Hebling. Manager will be quick. And he'll fire. And that one will be swung and fouled off behind the plate. Now we have a full count. Manager has come back down 3-0 in the count. And now it's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the first, Upper Dublin 0, PW get the bat. Justin Horn was retired on a fly out to center. The pitch to Hebling, and that is fouled up again. And we'll do it over. Now we'll have the 7th pitch of the at-bat. In 2017, the PWHS has instituted a new pitching restriction rule. The maximum amount of pitches you can throw in a game is 100, and you cannot throw more than 200 in a calendar week. Low ball 4. 7 pitch at bat, and Hebling draws a walk. So 1 out, top of the first. Hebling is on first for JT Breslin, the center fielder. Looks like John Pacharo, the first baseman, is going to hold Hebling on. And that will be fouled off to the left side, to the right side. Yes, the right side. 0-1 now to Breslin. On deck will be Max Weinberg, the first baseman, for Ed Wall's squad. Ed Wall has been a longtime coach at Upper Dublin. In 2012, the Upper Dublin Cardinals finished 4th in District 1 in the playoffs. And he'll get there safely as Hebling. 0-1 the count to Breslin. Pacharo holding Hebling on at first. And that one is swung on and fouled. 0-2 to JT Breslin. In the first inning this season, Upper Dublin has scored just 1 run. PW, in opponent's half of the first, have scored 22 times. PW has allowed 89 runs in 14 games this season. Here's a 2-strike pitch, and he'll swing and miss, struck him out. First strikeout of the game for Brett Bottinger. 2 away in the top of the first. Upper Dublin batting with 0 runs. PW has yet to come to the plate, and now will be Max Weinberg, the first baseman. Upper Dublin's in the road grays, PW in the whites. The front of the PW uniforms look like retro Chicago White Sox jerseys. And that will be grounded up the middle. And that's going to be booted. And that'll be an error. It looks like on second baseman, Jack Mangan. That's the 34th error of the season for PW. Now we have runners on first and second, 2 out. Weinberg reaches on an E4. So runners on first and second, 2 outs now for Tom Riley, the third baseman. Joey Monaghan is on deck. That is in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Tom Riley. Hebling is on second. Weinberg is on first. Horn flew at the center. Breslin struck out. The 0-1. High, 1-1. Difficult pitch to not take a swing. So 1-1 to count now to Tom Riley. Upper Dublin 0, PW 0. Top of the first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tom Riley. A little high, 2-1. 2 straight balls. Reddy Bottinger has a walk. He walked Matt Hebling. So 2-1 to count to Tom Riley for the visiting Cardinals, looking for its first road win of the season. That is in there for a called strike. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Top of the first. Upper Dublin with runners at second and first. Runner in scoring position. Runners on first from an error. Runner on second on a walk. Bottinger on the mound, trying to finish off the first inning. And swinging the miss struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning to retire the side. We have no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left. Through 1/2 of an inning, it's Upper Dublin 0. Plymouth Whitemarsh coming to bat. PW this season, 3-11. 2-8 in Suburban 1 American. Now let's introduce who is going to be batting for the Colonials. So Chris Monero in his 5th season. His lineup is as follows. Leading off will be second baseman Jack Mangan. Batting second will be designated hitter Brad Kronecki. Batting third will be first baseman John Pacharo. He has some pop. Batting fourth will be catcher Kevin Riley. Batting fifth for the Colonials will be center fielder Noah Goldstein. Batting sixth will be second baseman Jacob Nunez. Batting seventh, left fielder Richie Warner. Batting eighth will be right fielder Matt Mitchell. Stephen Longo, who also has a good leg in soccer and football, is the shortstop. He'll be batting ninth. And the Colonials today will be facing off against Ryan Bisaccio, who has struggled in outings this season. He's a guy who doesn't typically go deep into games. PW is going to have Mangan, Kronecki, and Pacharo to start the offensive game for PW. So Upper Dublin had 2 runners on at the top of the first, but no one came around. No one got a hit for the Cardinals. PW this season has scored 46 runs, but just 4 have come in the first inning this season. PW had 2 in a 9-8 win against Franklin Regional at historic Dodgertown in Vero Beach on March 24th. And the other 2 first inning runs came in an 18-8 5-inning loss at Pennsbury on April the 13th. Jack Mangan will lead it off. Mangan is batting 167. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 run batted in, has a triple. Mangan has walked 3 times, struck out 6. The first pitch. That one's a little high. 1-0 to Mangan. Bisaccio has his signs, and he'll deliver. Fouled. Up and behind the plate. 1-1 now to Mangan. Mangan is the second baseman, Brad Kronecki, designated hitter, on deck. And it is a good whiff and a miss. 1-2 now for Mangan. The lefty is up in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter now in the bottom of the first for the Colonials. Close pitch in the inside corner. Umpire does not agree it's a strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jack Mangan. PW has won just 1 game in its last 10. That is low, and we have a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Bottom of the first. Upper Dublin 0, PW batting without a run so far. The full count pitch, and it is lined to right field for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Jack Mangan. We have the leadoff runner on first with Brad Kronecki at the dish. You got to watch out for him to put one out. As Bisaccio will be ready to face him. Kronecki batting 367. 11 hits, 2 runs, 7 runs batted in, and that one is hit deep. That ball is outgoing, and he'll drop it. Now going to second, he'll going to third is Mangin. He'll be safe. And that will be a double for Brad Krenicky. It was dropped, but it was a tough hit. And now it's John Pachero. So Mangin will be on third. Krenicky with the double, according to my calculations. It could be possibly an E9, but with the way it was positioned, it would have been a tough catch anyway. So John Pachero at the plate, 2 on, no one out, bottom of the first, for Pachero, who has 1 homer this season. That is high, 1-0. Again, PW has not defeated Upper Dublin in 7 meetings. PW hasn't defeated Upper Dublin since April 16, 2014. It was a 1-0 PW win here in Plymouth meeting. PW has not scored more than 5 runs against Upper Dublin since an 8-7 win over the Cardinals back on May 9th, 2013. That is fouled off to Pacharo. Is outside for a ball. Kevin Lively, the catcher's on deck. No one out. On third is Jack Mangin. On second is Brad Krenicky. With back-to-back hits, it may have been scored an error, as that was a tough catch to make. Now, Sacchio has his sights on out number 1. There's still no one out in the bottom of the first. Colonials on third and second. And that one is swung and popped up, out of play behind the plate. Pacharo with 2 strikes. Pacharo is batting .364 this season with 16 hits. And that will be fouled behind the plate again, working Basaccio. Upper Dublin failed to get a hit or a run in the top of the first. PW with 2 hits to start the bottom for first baseman John Pacharo at the plate. And that one will be grounded, foul to the left side on the third base line. Picking it up is Tom Riley, third baseman for the Cardinals. Cardinals have failed to score 5 or more runs in 17 straight games. And for the 7th straight game, failed to score a first inning run. And that is high, and I believe the count is full. To John Pacharo. Krenicky on second, Mangin on third. And that will be lined to center field, base hit. Mangin will score. Here comes Krenicky. He'll score, and it is a 2-run single for John Pacharo, and it's Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 0, with no one out, still in the bottom of the first. 3 straight hits for the Colonials, and for just the 5th time this season, PW has scored just the 6 runs, actually, this season for PW in a first inning. The last time PW had a run in the first inning was 2 in an 18-8 5-inning loss at Pennsburg on April 13th. That's snapped a 6-game drought without a first inning run. And that is fouled off to the right side. 0-1 to Kevin Riley, the catcher. A 4th Colonial to come up. All 3 Colonials so far have hits. Mangin singled and scored. Krenicky doubled and scored. He may have reached on an error, as it was a tough play by the right fielder, and that is high to Riley. 4th player to step up to the plate for the Colonials. Noah Goldstein, the center fielder, is on deck for PW. No one outs, bottom of the first, runner on first, 2-0 PW. Outside, another ball from Bisaccio. PW, once upon a time, made the playoffs every single year at one point. That was over a 10-year stretch. It wasn't that long ago. And that will be line to center, and it is caught. That's the first out of the bottom of the first for PW. Now batting will be Noah Goldstein, the center fielder. Pacharo retreated back to first. So Pacharo's on first on the 2 RBI single. PW up 2-0. Bisaccio deals, and it is high. 1-0 to Goldstein. Goldstein batting .244 with 5 RBIs and 5 runs. Grounded to the left side. Oh, diving stop. He's not going to get him. Infield single for Noah Goldstein, and now we have runners on second and first with 1 out. It's now Jacob Nunez, the third baseman, the 6th Colonial to bat in this bottom of the inning. It's still 2-0 Colonials over the Cardinals. We have, I believe, 4 hits now for PW and 5 plate appearances. Goldstein on first on the single. On second is John Pacharo. Bisaccio delivers. And that is swung on and missed. 0-1 to Nunez. The most runs PW has scored this season was 9, twice. Each of those 2 games were victories for PW. It's on the outside corner, but it's 2-0 now. Actually, that's ball on Nunez. The 1-1 pitch is up the middle. They'll tag him, and they get the double play. And that will retire the side, but a very productive bottom of the first for PW. And they sent 6, as the Colonials sent 6 guys to the plate. According to my eye, 4 hits, 2 runs. And for 1 inning, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 0. A very productive bottom of the first for PW on the 2 RBI single from John Pacharo. In NCAA Division I news, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2016 alumnus Xavier Malone has decided to commit to Fairleigh Dickinson University for basketball on May 7, 2017 after receiving his release from Rider. Malone, who averaged about a few minutes per game as a freshman at Rider, guided the 2016 PW Colonials boys basketball team to the District 1 4A title. Best of luck to Malone in his upcoming academic and athletic chapter. Bottinger will come back to the mound for the top of the second. Wasn't a clean top of the first. He walked the batter and allowed a batter to reach on an error, but did not allow a hit in the top of the first. So in the top of the second for Upper Dublin, we'll have 6, 7, and 8 batting. Joey Monaghan, Jason O'Gara, and left fielder Michael Zikanofi. Edwall's team will go back to the plate to bat, down 2-0. As Bottinger will now face designated hitter Joey Monaghan. There's the first pitch. It is low in the dirt. One and 0 now in Monaghan. That is in there for a called strike. 1-1 now to Joey Monaghan. Catcher Jason O'Gara is on deck. A 1-1. A little low, 2-1 to Monaghan. Brett Bottinger has his sign from catcher Riley. And that is a little outside now, 3-1. To Monaghan. Top of the second, leadoff batter, 2-0 PW. That's actually now 3 balls. 3 balls to count. Sorry, I lost track of the count, but now it's 3 balls. And that is going to be popped up. Nunez is going to try to get under it, and PW is unable to make the catch. It is a foul ball. No error charged because no one caught it. Richie Lerner, the left fielder, said it's his fault. It was a makeable catch, but it's just another strike. So I believe the count is now full to Monaghan. Designated hitter in the top of the second. That is low, ball 4. So what could have been out number 1 is another heavy load walk. Second based on balls issued by Boninger. For Boninger, it is the 8th walk he has permitted this season. Leadoff runner on in Monaghan on first. Jason O'Gara is at the plate. Looking to bunt, and now we'll have a pickoff attempt on first. As John Petrero is keeping tabs on Monaghan. No one out, top of the second. Runner on first, Upper Dublin is scoreless so far. PW leading 2-0 with a 2-run first. The bunt is up there, but it is a ball. Michael Zinkanofi is on deck. Zinkanofi is the left fielder. And Upper Dublin is the 2-time defending Suburban 1 American champion, but going from first to worst in a year. Both of these teams are tied for last in Suburban 1 American. Hapoel Horsham and Quakertown currently tied for first. PW has defeated Quakertown once this year. PW defeated the Quakertown Panthers 9-1 on May 1st in Quakertown. Bonninger's behind the count, and now we'll get a sign and deliver. Bunt is still on, another ball. Bonninger's now falling behind again. Now the bunt is still on. And there's a strike. It's 1 strike on Jason O'Gara. You have an umpire in the infield and an umpire behind the plate. 2 umpires during regular season play. Runner on first, no one out, top of the second, 2-0 PW. And the bunt is on and it is fouled. And I believe the count is full again. 3-2 to O'Gara. Michael Zinkanofi is waiting on deck. Maximum pitches you can have in a game is 100. If you throw 100 pitches, you'll have to get 3 days of rest. And that is swung on and missed. Throw to second and it's not in time. A stolen base for Joey Monaghan. But it is a strikeout on O'Gara. It is the 3rd strikeout in the game for Boninger. We have 1 out now. Runner on second, top of the second. Upper Dublin's down 2-0 for Michael Zinkanofi, the left fielder. So in scoring position is Monaghan. They'll deliver. On the outside corner, called strike. 0-1 to Zinkanofi. On deck is pitcher Ryan Bisaccio. Very windy day here in Plymouth meeting. Around 57, 56 Fahrenheit. Usually this time in May, you would expect to wear shorts without a jacket, and that is going to be popped up to the left side out of play. Fans nearly catch it in their beach chairs. Zikanolfi is behind in the count with 2 strikes. Bonner is ahead. Designated hitter Monaghan is on second after the stolen base strikeout. Zikanolfi is down 0-2. Bonner has permitted 3 base runners so far in this game. Bonner ahead of the count will deliver. And that will be looped, and Nunez is there. Pop up the third. 2 away in the top of the second. PW up 2-0 as Bisaccio is now going to get his first at bat. On deck will be Justin Horn, who had to fly out the center his first time up. Low in the dirt, 1-0 to Bisaccio. PW's in second innings this season has allowed 8 runs. Upper Dublin in inning number 2s this year have scored just 3 times. That is swung on and fouled, 1-1 to Bisaccio. The 1-1 now as Bottinger will get his signs from Riley, the catcher. Monaghan's on second, dancing a little bit, and that is low, 2-1. On Bisaccio. Bottinger has 1 wild pitch this season. Bottinger has now allowed 5 stolen bases. That's on the outside corner, called strike. Looks like 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second, PW 2, Upper Dublin nothing. PW trying to get out with no harm. And that will be grounded foul to the right side, and we'll do it over again. See, we have some temporary fences in the outfield. Not too long ago, there were no outfield fences here. So if it was a home run, it would have had to go onto the field in front of us. And right or left field, it was a judgment call. So 2 strikes now on Bisaccio. Here's a delivery from Bottinger. Swung on and missed, struck him out. 4th strikeout of the game, and that is money for Bottinger to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base for 1.5. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 0. PW will send 7, 8, and 9 to the plate. Another job well done for PW on defense. PIAA District 1 organizes district playoffs for high schools in Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, and Delaware counties. For information regarding District 1, visit www.piaad1.org. The May 7, 2017 power rankings have been released for baseball. Top 20 for District 1 6A make playoffs. PW is 30th. The week before was 33rd. PW defeated last week's number 1 Quakertown 9-1 on May 1st. Quakertown dropped only 1 position despite getting 2 losses that week to number 2 in the District 1 6A standings. At this point, no PW spring teams are in contention for a playoff spot. The closest right now are both boys and girls lacrosse, 27th in their respective fields. The top 24 in both boys and girls lacrosse make playoffs. Those begin on May 16th. So in the bottom of the second, the Colonials will have Richie Lerner, Matt Mitchell, and Stephen Longo. PW had 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Could have had more if not for Jacob Nunez double play. So here's Lerner. And that is a called strike, going 1 on Richie Lerner, batting .200 this season. 5 runs, on 2 hits. He struck out 5 times, have swiped 2 bags. And that's a swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Werner. Bottom of the second. No one out. PW up 2-0. And that's going to be popped up, lined out of play to the right side. We'll do it again. It's still 0-2 on Werner. Right fielder Mitchell is up next. Chris Monero, PW's head coach, 24-42 in Suburban 1 American games as the skipper. That's on the outside corner, called strike free backwards, K. It's the first strikeout for Ryan Bisaccio in this one. 1 away in the bottom of the second. It's now Matt Mitchell getting his crack at the plate. 1 out, bottom of the second, 2-0 PW. As the ball will be thrown around the field, around the horn. Mitchell batting .250 this season, 2 runs, has 2 hits. He has walked 1, struck out twice. And that will be popped up on the infield. The first base side of Wynn will carry it, and that is going to be dropped. That was a very tough play. It was in and out of the glove because of the wind. That was a very tough play for first baseman Max Weinberg. Normally it would be considered an error, but based on the wind direction, it was very tough to catch. So 0-1 now to Mitchell. On the outside corner, 0-2. That's now 3 consecutive outs without a base runner for Bisaccio if you count the double play. That is low. 1-2 to Mitchell. Steve Longo, the shortstop, on deck. So 1 out, bottom of the second. PW up 2-0 on Upper Dublin. That is swung on and popped foul behind the home plate. Upper Dublin's last game was on May 4th, 2017 against Wissahickon. Upper Dublin lost 1-0, gave up just 1 4th inning run. That is low, 2-2. PW's runs in the first inning snapped a 15-inning scoreless streak. Maybe they'll have been the longest scoreless drought dating back to 2009. That will be swung on, and that will be down the line, third base line, foul. As Tom Lively got up to it, but the umpire called it foul. Still 2 strikes on Mitchell with 1 out in the bottom of the second. So 2 strikes, no one on, bottom of the second. PW up a pair. Swung and popped foul behind home plate with the protective screen. Bisaccio will be at it again. The lefty on the mound will get his signs from Jason O'Gara. Matt Mitchell wearing Jackie Robinson's 42. He'll swing and miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bisaccio. 2 away in the bottom of the second for shortstop Stephen Longo, and then we'll go to the top of the order as Jack Mangin will be on deck. The 2-0 PW, 2 outs, bottom of the second. PW put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first on a few hits. On the outside corner, called strike. 0-1 on Longo. The 0-1. We grounded the third. Diving stop, throw to first is low, and it's in time! 5-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 go to Colonials. No runs, hits, errors. No one left after 2 innings. Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 0. Wow, that was a good stop by Tom Riley. That looked like that was going to be an error. And that was a good grab by Max Weinberg to have the umpire call him out. A great defensive second inning. 2 strikeouts and the ground out. Upper Dublin down 2-0 as we go to the top of the third. Brett Bottinger, 2 good innings so far. Will be back on the mound. He has 4 strikeouts. On May 2nd, 2017, the Suburban 1 League Executive Committee voted to realign the league, beginning with the 2018-19 school year. This will maintain the national, continental, and American conferences based on geography, enrollment, and rivals. The American Conference will have Abington, Cheltenham, Hatboro Horsham, Plymouth Whitemarsh, Springfield, Montgomery County, Upper Dublin, Upper Moreland, and Wissahickon. So we're going to the top of the third now for Upper Dublin. We'll have 1, 2, and 3 hitters. We'll have shortstop Justin Horn, second baseman Matt Hebley, and center fielder JT Breslin. Justin Horn will come to the plate now. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center, his last time up. Hebling on deck with a walk. So Horn 0 for 1 on the day so far. As Boninger will be back on the mound. Got to watch his pitch count. 100 is the maximum pitcher can throw in the game. He was showing bunting that's in there for a called strike. 0-1. There have been 3 base runners so far for the Cardinals on a walk, E4, and another walk. Just missed. 1-1 the count now to Horn. PW had 2 runs in the bottom of the first on a 2-run single by John Pacharo. Be grounded to third. Nunez has it. He'll fire and he'll miss it. And that will be an E5 as the runner will advance to second. Second error of the game for PW. He had time, but PW's first baseman, John Pacharo, could not get his glove in the proper position, so we have a runner on second with no one out. In the top of the third, as Matt Hebling comes to the plate. He walked his first time up, went to second base, but could not score. So Boninger, for the second straight inning, has allowed a leadoff runner. But it's 2-0 PW. And we have a bunt. It'll be a tough throw. Oh, that's a beauty. Sacrifice successful to advance Horn to third. 1 out, top of the third, 2-0 PW. And that's a beautiful bunt. Great job for Bottinger and company to retire. Because Pacharo has struggled getting some gloves and holds. So 1 out, top of the third for JT Breslin, who struck out swinging his first time up. Pottinger has fanned 4 Cardinals so far. So 1 out in the top of the third. PW is up 2-0, but we have Justin Horn of the Cardinals on third. Few feet off the bag. And that is low in the dirt. 1-0 to count to Breslin. On deck will be Weinberg, who reached on an error his last time up. BW up a pair of runs. Upper Dublin just 27 runs on offense this season. 1-0 to Breslin. He'll swing and miss. 1-1 now to JT Breslin. In third innings this season, Upper Dublin has scored 6 runs. PW in third innings have allowed 11. A 1-1 to count. Southpaw Bottinger delivers. Outside, 2-1 now to Breslin. We have 7 innings of regulation, but of course run rules will be in effect if a team is up by an outstanding amount of runs. In inning number 3, it's 15 runs or more by a team, the game would end. Now it'll be grounded up, and that is bobbled. The throw, he's safe, and run scores. 2-1 now. That will be an error, as there was a bobble. So already the second error of the inning, 1 out. In the top of the third, it's 2-1, Plymouth Whitemarsh. Just the 28th run score this season for the Cardinals, and that snapped a 10-inning scoreless drought. for the Cards. Cardinals are down 2-1. Thanks to the error. I think the run would have scored anyway on the ground out. Now here's Max Weinberg, who reached on an error his first time up. So Bottinger in trouble, allowed 1 run. It will be unearned. It's 2-1. Runner on first, 1 out, top of the 3rd. Runner is going, it's in there, the throw. The throw is there, but not anywhere close to the bag, and that's a stolen base for Breslin. Second steal allowed in the game by Bottinger. So the count at least 1-1 now to Max Weinberg. Tom Riley, the third baseman on deck, he struck out swinging his last time up. So 1-1 now to Weinberg. 1 out, top of the 3rd, 2-1 PW. High, 2-1. Cardinals are wearing the grays. PW wearing the whites. Upper Dublin has won each of the last 6 meetings against PW. The 2-1's coming from Bottinger, and he'll step off. Watch out for a balk. Time was called. PW has 1 balk on the season. The balk's when you are about to throw to home, but you stop in the process. You can't do that. Near the shortstop and second base, near the second base bag. A little low outside, 3-1 to Weinberg. Bottinger has walked 2 batters. The more he walks, the more pitches he throws. High ball 4, third bases on balls allowed for Bottinger. You got runners on first and second with 1 out. As Tom Wiley comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. PW has turned just 6 double plays this season, so the infield is in to try to turn 2. Upper Dublin has 1 run across the plate this half of the 3rd. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 1. Both of PW's runs came on a 2-run single from John Pacharo in the bottom of the 1st. The run by Upper Dublin was just a 7th in 3rd innings this season. And that is swung and missed, but it's a wild pitch. So runners advance. So advancing the 3rd is Breslin. Advancing the 2nd is Weinberg. So there's a strike on Tom Wiley, but now we have 2 runners in scoring position. Sack fly or another wild pitch could tie the game. Going a few feet toward home off 3rd is Breslin. Weinberg is on 2nd. And that's a good eye around the chest. It's 1-1 to Riley. On deck is Joey Monaghan, who walked and stole a bag his first time up. This is the 5th plate appearance in the inning. It is high. 2-1 Bottinger. A little erratic this inning. Started with an error, sack bunt, error, walk. 2 runners on base for the Cardinals. Time run 90 feet away. It's 2-1 PW. Swung on, popped up. 2 strikes now on Riley, the 3rd baseman for the Cardinals, wearing number 3. It is 2-1 Plymouth Whitemarsh. 1 out, top of the 3rd. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. A base hit could give the Cardinals a lead. Upper Dublin has not won a road game this season. Swung on and missed, struck him out. 5th K of the day already for Bottinger. It's the 2nd time Riley has struck out swinging. We got 2 away for Joey Monaghan, who walked his last time up. He also stole a base but was left on base. So 2 outs, top of the 3rd. PW up 2-1. Justin Horn scored in this 3rd. for the Cardinals. Swung on and fouled behind the plate. 0-1 now to Monaghan. Jason O'Gara, who struck out his last time up, the catcher, is on deck. PW in the home half of the third will have Mangin, Kronecki, and Pacharo at the plate. 0-1 coming from Bottinger. Popped up to the left side out of play. Look out! And that is just short of the sidewalk near the Aquatics Center across the street. So behind the count is Monaghan. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Runners on second and third for the Cardinals. On third is Westland, and Weinberg is on second. Low 1-2. Gets away. Watch out. Runner coming home, and he is safe. Runner advances to third, and we are tied up at 2 on the wild pitch. Advancing to third is Weinberg. It is 2-2. 1-2 is the count, but the score is Upper Dublin 2, PW 2. 8th run of the season for Upper Dublin in third innings. And it's just a 29th offensive run for the Cardinals in 2017. Upper Dublin's last win was against Avon Grove on May 1st, 3-2 in 8 innings. It was a walk-off. And that is low, 2-2 now to Monaghan. Upper Dublin's last 3 wins have all been via the walk-off in Fort Washington. 2-2 to count. Bottinger looking to retire without any more damage, and he'll hit that one. That ball has wings. Oh, it is caught by the center fielder to retire the side. It's a fly out the center. Well, 2 runs, no hits, couple of errors, 1 left. For 2.5, Upper Dublin and PW are knotted up at 2 apiece. So, Bottinger through 3 has struck out 5. Believe it or not, he is still not allowed to hit according to my records. But he has given up 2 runs and 3 walks. Not a good sign, especially since Plymouth Whitemarsh has quite a few games the week of May 8th, 2017, thanks to rainouts and other scheduled games. PW was supposed to have its senior day on Saturday, May 6th, but due to recent dreary conditions, including rain, the game had been rescheduled to Tuesday, May 9th against Abington. And that will be senior day, May 9th. So we go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-2. For PW, Mangin, Kronecki, and Pacharo. All 3 of those runners reached base in the bottom of the first. Bisaccio is back on the mound. Jack Mangin singled and scored his first time up. Kronecki will be on deck. In the dirt and goes past catcher O'Gara. 1-0 now to Mangin. Took quite a few pitches in the first plate appearance for Mangin to get on base. So 1-0. The 2 pitches in the plate appearance so far. Second baseman Mangin at the plate. And there's another ball. PW has not walked in this game. In the second inning, PW was retired 1-2-3. PW had 4 runners reach base. 4 batters reach base in the bottom of the first. And there's the strike. So 1 strike on Mangin with a couple of balls. No outs. Bottom of the third. Upper Dublin 2, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. Believe the 2 runs for the Cardinals are unearned. And that is swung on to the middle. Rounded to second. Throw to first. 4-3 on the putout. 1 away. In the bottom of the third. 2-2. Now here's Kronecki. He hit a ball to deep center his first time up that went off the glove, but it looked very difficult for an easy catch. I called it a double. He scored on the 2-run single by Pacharo in the bottom of the first. And that is outside and low, 1-0 to Kronecki. Kronecki has popped 1 homer on the season. I believe it came against Pennsbury in Fairless Hills. Another pitch that missed. So ahead of the count, 2-0 is Brad Kronecki, the designated hitter, as pitcher Brett Bottinger isn't batting. That is swung on and fouled off, 2-1. It was behind the plate. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the third. Upper Dublin and PW knotted at 2 apiece. PW 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Upper Dublin 2 runs in the top of the third. And that ball has wings to Shallow, making the catch. He trapped it. Going to second will be Kronecki, and he may have his second double of the game. It was a trapped ball by left fielder Michael Ziganolfi, trying to make the catch but came up short. So that's at least 1 double of the day. Both of the balls that Kronecki put in play were hard to catch. So we have runner in scoring position for Pacharo, who had a 2 RBI single his first time up. Low, 1-0. Very good opportunity now for the PW to get ahead. So 1-0 to Pacharo. John Pacharo at the plate. Outside, 2-0. As Ryan Basaccio is still on the mound for the Cardinals. I believe Upper Dublin has a game that was rained out, rescheduled for May 9th, 2017 against Council Rock South, high 3-0. No one has walked for PW yet in this game. Remind both of these teams 2-8 in Suburban 1 American, the bottom of the standings. 3-0. And that's in there. To Pacharo. Yep, the plate appearance continues. Kronecki's on second, dances off the bag a little. And he'll throw back. And Hebling is able to handle the ball. I believe it's 3 balls, 1 strike, runner on second, 1 out, bottom of the third, as we have a conference with O'Gara and Basaccio. Catcher O'Gara and the pitcher Ryan Basaccio. 1 out, bottom of the third. Each team has 2 runs. Upper Dublin was down 2-0, had 2 runs in the top of the third. Both of those were unearned. And Upper Dublin still without a single, double, triple, or long ball. Outside ball 4. Pacharo does his job. It reaches base for the second straight plate appearance. Has a single on the walk, and now we have Pacharo run first. Kronecki on second, 1 out. Bottom of the third, Kevin Riley, who lined out the center field his first time up, is at the plate. Riley this season has 3 doubles. And he'll line one, and that will be caught. And the batters will retreat, caught in left field. So it's a line out to left. He's 0 for 2 with 2 line outs. 2 away in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second for Noah Goldstein, who had an infield single his last time up, but was erased at second on a double play that Jacob Nunez grounded into in the bottom of the first. Goldstein at the plate. Lefty gets his signs. Basaccio delivers. And it's in there. So 2 outs, bottom of the third. Kronecki on second, Pacharo on first. Goldstein will ground it to third and will go to the bag to retire the side. Ground out to third. We'll do it. No runs on a hit. No errors. And one left through 3 innings. It's Upper Dublin 2. Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. Again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We have 7 regulation innings. We'll go to the top of the 4th. For the Cardinals, it will be 7, 8, and 9 batting. It will be O'Gara, Sicanolfi, and Bisaccio. As Bottinger will go back to the mound. I have been alluding to this throughout so far that about PWHS pitching restrictions. So, for the PWHS pitching restrictions, 1 to 25 pitches requires no required rest. If you throw 26 to 50, it'll be 1 calendar day you have to rest. 51 to 75 pitches, 2 calendar days. 76 to the maximum 100 will be 3 calendar days. However, a pitcher is permitted to continue to pitch, and in at bat if the maximum is reached during the plate appearance. No pitcher can appear in more than 2 straight days. The maximum pitch limit is 200 per pitcher in a calendar week. If permitted to throw more than 100 to complete an at bat, it will count as just 100 pitches. So we'll go to the top of the 4th. So we have 7, 8, and 9 hitters. O'Gara will come to the plate. The catcher, he is 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout his first time up. Bottinger has struck out at least 1 batter in each of the first 3 top innings. 5 strikeouts on the day for Bottinger. Upper Dublin has not scored more than 4 runs this season. That is low, 1-0. On deck will be Michael Sicanolfi, who popped the third his first time up. 1-0. Swung on and fouled behind home plate. 1-1 now to Jason O'Gara to lead off the top of the 4th. No outs. Upper Dublin 2, PW 2. Both of these teams snapped 10-plus inning scoreless droughts in this game, and that ball has wings to right field. It is outgoing, and it is caught. A loud and long first out. Fly out to right field to retire O'Gara. 1 away. Top of the 4th. 2-2. Sicanolfi. 0-1 on the day at the plate. Popped the third his last time up. And he'll get a bunt. Throw to first. Oh, he is safe. That was a tough play, and that will break up the no-hitter. First hit of the day for Upper Dublin. According to our eye. Because that was a judgment call whether to let it go fair or foul, but great job to just get a hold of it. But Sicanolfi just beat the throw. Pacharo had it cleanly. Now leadoff runner on for the 3rd straight inning for the Cardinals. Well, actually, leadoff runner for the 2nd time today, as O'Gara had a fly out to start this inning. So runner on first, 1 out, top of the 4th for Bisaccio. Back to first, he is safe. So Sicanolfi on first on a bunt single. Very clever move at the plate he had. Upper Dublin doesn't get a lot of hits in the game, and now he'll go to second. Throw is in time, and he's out. Caught stealing is Sicanolfi. They did not get a great lead, but a great job on the putout. Great handle by catcher Kevin Riley. That's 2 away. Bisaccio is at the plate, and that's a strike. Looking to retire Bisaccio to head to the home half of the fourth, knotted up at 2 apiece. Upper Dublin with just 1 hit today. And that one is going to be lined to center and caught to retire the side. Run. No runs on a hit. No errors. 1 left. For 3.5, it's Upper Dublin. For 2 and PW2. To clarify, there were no runs in the top of the fourth, but there was a hit finally. The first hit of the game for Upper Dublin. Some could consider it a single, but the intentions were to get on via a hit and just beat the throw. Was Zikanolfi, but he was erased on a stolen base attempt, the second. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth with the game knotted up at 2 runs apiece. Werner, Mitchell, and Longo will come. Actually, it would be Nunez, Werner, and Mitchell to come to the plate. Longo would be fourth in line. Nunez will come to the plate. They're the first time since grounding into a double play in the bottom of the first to end the inning. So this is the bottom of the fourth now. Upper Dublin 2, PW2 runs, and a 2-run single by John Pacharo. In the bottom of the first, Upper Dublin with 2 unearned runs in the top of the third. Jacob Nunez will get another plate appearance here. He's 0 for 1 on the day, grounding into a double play. So 2-2, going to the bottom of the fourth. Nunez came into this game batting .150 with just 3 hits and 1 run batted in, no extra bases. He's walked 4 times, he struck out 5. And he has committed at least 8 errors on the season. That ball is lined to right field, and that is dropped. And he'll go to second. I believe that will be an E9. It was a tough one, but he had it tracked down the whole way. Right fielder but could not get it. Ryan O'Gara could not get it. That should be an E9. But reaching second is Nunez. So E9, Nunez in scoring position for Richie Werner, who struck out looking his first time up. W has hit the ball hard and far. Now with a bunt attempt, he'll bunt it to... That's a beautiful bunt. Throw to first is in there. The sacrifice is successful. Nunez advances to third. 1 out, bottom of the fourth. PW is knotted up at 2 runs apiece with Upper Dublin. As Mitchell comes to the plate, he struck out swinging in the bottom of the second. Outside, 1-0. Leading run. The lead run is on third and Nunez. 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Upper Dublin 2, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. Outside, it's in there for a called strike. 1-1 on Matt Mitchell, the right fielder. Stephen Longo, the shortstop, is up next. He was retired in the first inning, 5-3 on the ground out. Longo 0 for 1, he's on deck. 2-1 outside. Now on Mitchell. Mitchell looking for his first extra base hit of the season. He has a stolen base. High, 3-1. Start to wonder when Ed Wall, the head coach for Upper Dublin, is going to start checking on his bullpen. 3-1 the count now to Mitchell. 1 out, bottom of the third, fouled off out of the complex. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Nunez on third. He reached on the 2-base error. He hit the ball hard, but Ryan O'Gara should have caught it. And that's low, ball 4. Second walk yielded today by Ryan Bisaccio. We have runners on first and third run out for Stephen Longo. Upper Dublin should have the infield in, trying to get its second double play of the game. Stephen Longo's up. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third. Ground out to third his first time up. So it's the shortstop Longo. Now we'll throw back to first. He is safe. Fourth inning. It's 2-2. PW in the home half of it. PW wearing the whites with the Chicago White Sox retro style uniforms. Now Bisaccio delivers. And there's a strike on Longo. On deck is Jack Mangin, who singled and scored and grounded out the second his last time up. Longo's second plate appearance here. Lead runners on for Nunez, and now he'll go for it. Swung on, fouled. 2 strikes on Longo. Mitchell was trying to steal second. I don't know if Nunez was going to break for home. Not sure that was going to be a double steal, so that's 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Runners at the corners, fouled behind, hits the catcher. And now we'll have another conference with pitcher and catcher. Jason Noguera will go back to the mound. And that was a very short conference. Again, in the last 19 meetings, Upper Dublin against PW is 10-9 and won each of the last 6. And now he's going. He'll foul it off to the left side. Watch out, Street. That ball's going to go into the road. Head to the sidewalk near this pool complex. A Street souvenir, and it's still 2 strikes on Steve Longo. Runners on the corners. 1 out. Bottom of the fourth. It's 2-2. Run back. We'll throw back to first. Mitchell is in there safely. Nunez is on third. Mitchell on first. Nunez reached on what I believe is an error. Mitchell walked against Bisaccio. Sun is out. And now we'll have another stolen base, and that ball is going to be popped out. Nunez will tag. And that is a very good throw. So that's a fly out to center. But that was a very powerful throw from J.T. Breslin, the center fielder, to keep Nunez at bay on third. 2 away, a huge out for the Cardinals in the bottom of the fourth. Upper Dublin 2, PW 2. Now we'll go back to the top of the order here. That's Jack Mangin. 1 for 2 with a single run and a ground out to second. Mangin swings and misses. 0-1 on the second baseman, Brad Kornecki, who's 2 for 2 with, I believe, 2 doubles. And a run is on deck. Well, if you're Bisaccio, do not want to face Kornecki with men on base. That is swung on and missed. Ball goes out of the glove again of O'Gara. 0-2 on Mandan. 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth. 2-2. Upper Dublin had 2 runs in the top of the third. PW scored 2 in the bottom of the first on a 2 RBI single from Pacharo. The 0-2 pitch. Does not get the umpire's call. 1-2. Just a little outside. One, two. It's a beauty. Called strike 3 to retire the side. No runs, no hits. 1 error. 2 left through 4 innings. Plymouth Whitemarsh 2, Upper Dublin 2. As we go to the top of the 5th. There's a I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We'll have more baseball action coming up on CITV. Stick around. Welcome back to Upper Dublin versus PW Baseball. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. Top of the fifth. Justin Horn is at the plate. It's 1, 2, and 3 hitters now for the Cardinals. And that's in there for a called strike. 0-1 on Horn, the shortstop. 0 for 2. He flied out to center his first time up and reached on an error and scored in the top of the third. Brett Bottinger still on the mound for PW, has allowed just one hit today so far. Swung on and missed, struck him out, and pounding the bat in frustration is Horn. One away in the top of the fifth for Matt Hebling, who has a walk and a sacrifice bunt. So he's 0 for 0 today. He doesn't have an official at bat. Third plate appearance now. That's low, 1-0. So Upper Dublin 2. PW 2 Upper Dublin has scored 3 total runs in 5th innings this season. And that's going to be lined out, line to left field, base hit. Just the second hit of the game for Upper Dublin. Matt Hebling with his first base hit. We have a runner on with 1 out, top of the fifth. 2-2 is the score for J.T. Breslin, who struck out swinging in the top of the first. Then in the third, reached on an error, stole a bag, and scored on the wild pitch. He scored the game-tying run. Upper Dublin has a couple of steals, have also been caught stealing. That's fouled to the left side, near the home plate. 0-1 the count now to J.T. Breslin, the center fielder. First baseman Max Weinberg is on deck. He's 0 for 1. He's reached base both times. He reached on an error and on a walk, but did not score in either of those appearances. 0-1 now to Breslin. Outside. 1-1. Bottinger strikeout and a permitted hit in this top of the fifth. 1 out. 2-2. Upper Dublin's batting. It's a good eye, I believe. 2-1 now to J.T. Breslin. It doesn't look like Plymouth Whitemarsh has any bullpen action at the moment. Now he is going and fouled behind the plate. 2-2 to count to J.T. Breslin. Hebling was going for it. Dublin's stolen 2 bases. Got caught once today as well. Already 3 stolen base attempts. Balls that could have been in play. Well, for the first, Pacharo has it, but going back is Breslin. Going back is Hebling as Breslin's at the plate of a 2-strike count. 1 out, top of the fifth. Upper Dublin has Hebling on first. It's 2-2. Visiting Cardinals at the dish. Swung on foul to the left side near PW's bench. It's the protective fencing. It's a good time to be at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. Got some renovations with the building, including the front entrance. And we also have Plymouth Whitemarsh's Gym West undergoing a makeover, going to turn into a 1,750-seat gym. That swung on a miss, struck him out. The throw is going to go into center field. So that's a strikeout and a stolen base for Matt Hebling. The ball did go into center field, but Hebling stays at second. So we got a runner at second, 2 outs for Max Weinberg, who reached first on an error his first time up and reached on a walk his last time up. So he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Bottinger today has 7 strikeouts. 2 strikeouts in the inning. That swung on, and that is wild. And now moving to third is the go-ahead run in Hebling. 0-1 the count now to Weinberg. Go-ahead run of Carson is at third, and Matt Hebling. First baseman Weinberg at the plate. Swung on, and that goes away. And he is safe. It's 3-2 Upper Dublin, a wild pitch. It's Upper Dublin 3, PW2. Boninger has been wild throughout this one. Upper Dublin has just 1 hit today. Unless you're going to tell me that Sikanolfi's bunt was muffed. The 2 outs at the top of the 5th. Upper Dublin takes its first lead of the game. Had been down 2-0 at one point. That's fouled off, 2 strikes on Weinberg. So Hebling scored. Upper Dublin up 3-2. Swung on and fouled back. In case you're wondering, the last time Upper Dublin won a game on the road was May 17th, 2016. The Cardinals won 7-0 at Springfield, Montgomery County. That was also Upper Dublin's last shutout victory. 2 strikes. A little outside. Again, Upper Dublin had been held to 4 runs or fewer in each of its last 17 games. Boninger has his signs. PW is down the run. That is going to be popped up. First base side. Can anyone catch it? And it's foul. No one could get it. It was a tough play. He had to really run quickly. So 2 strikes again to Max Weinberg. Still do not see bullpen action for the Colonials. On deck is third baseman Tom Riley, who struck out twice. No one's on base. Upper Dublin up. And it swung on and missed, struck him out. Strikes out the side. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Boninger. That's the 8th of the game for him. They retired aside. 1-1, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. For 4.5. Upper Dublin leads PW 3-2. Upper Dublin scores for just the 30th time this season. 30 runs as we go to the bottom of the 5th. As Bisaccio will take the mound again. As PW will return to the bench. Once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this sunny afternoon. It's May 8th, 2017, Plymouth meeting. PW is 1-9 in its last 10 games. Started the season 2-1, won 2 of its first 3 games. Defeated. No, actually, one was 2-2. Sorry, Upper Dublin started 2-1. PW started 2-2. Wins against Franklin Regional and a 9-inning walk-off win against Cheltenham. And now we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. PW down 3-2. Bisaccio is back on the mound. For PW, we'll have 2, 3, and 4. Kornecki, Pacharo, and Liley. So don't count PW out of it. Kornecki 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. And that's in there for a called strike. 0-1 to Kornecki. 2 doubles. He scored on the 2-run single by Pacharo in the bottom of the 1st. He's the last Colonial to score in this one. Jack Mandan also scored. And that's another strike. 2 strikes to Kornecki. As Bisaccio is ahead of the count. Balls and 2 strikes. And the whole strikeout swinging. We'll go around the horn with the ball. 1 out on the strikeout. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Bisaccio. 1 out, bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Upper Dublin for John Pacharo, who's reached base both plate appearances. He He had a 2-run single. His first time and last time up walked. 1-0 to Pacharo. He has one long ball on the season. It's been a while since PW last hit a long ball against Upper Dublin. He'll swing and miss, 1-1. I believe the last time PW may have gone deep off Upper Dublin was April 25th, 2011 here in Plymouth meeting. That was a game on CITV. PW won 9-4. And that ball is lined, and that's in there. No, it's not. It had the distance to go to the temporary fence, and it's another strike. It's just another 2-strike count here on Pacharo. The last time I believe PW hit a home run against Upper Dublin, that was Bobby Slagle. It was a grand slam in the second inning of that 9-4 win on April 25th, 2011. That was off Dan Jacobson. High, a few balls and a few strikes now, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. PW led 2-0 until the top half of the 3rd. When it became 2-2, and that swung on and missed, struck him out. How about 3 straight strikeouts from Bisaccio, the 5th of the game. 2 outs at the bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Upper Dublin for Kevin Riley, the catcher. He lined out to center his first time up, and his last time lined out to left. We have 7 regulation innings. Keep in mind, it's the 5th. He'll ground it to the middle. It's off the mound, and it's going to be safe. I believe, based off its positioning, an infield single. It looked like it had ricocheted a bit. So, first hit in a couple innings for PW. 2 outs, runner on first for Noah Goldstein, who had an infield single his first time up, but grounded out the 3rd his last time. He's 1 for 2. There's Bisaccio on the mound. Goldstein entered this game with 14 strikeouts, which is not good. Considering you get a lot fewer plate appearances. He's got a bunt. It's going to stay there. He's going to be safe. Infield single, a bunt single. That was a very good play for Noah Goldstein. Exactly a great play call by Chris Monero. Now we got runners on second and first, 2 outs for Jacob Nunez. Nunez grounded into a double play in the first, reached on an error his last time up, but did not come around to score. Bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, runners on second and first, and the ball will be dropped, he'll be safe. So on second is Kevin Riley, first is Noah Goldstein, 3-2 Upper Dublin. Cardinals have not won a game on the road this season. Have won one game at a neutral site in Aberdeen, Maryland, against Souderton. And that's going to be lined up. It's going to be booted. Oh, he's out. Wow. The fielder's choice on the ground that will retire the side. Very close play. No runs on a couple of infield hits. No errors, and 2 and 1 had been gunned out. Through 5 innings, it's Upper Dublin 3, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. We go to the top of the 6th. Bonninger will return to the mound. And coming up to the desk for Upper Dublin will be 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Tom Riley, Joey Monaghan, and Jason O'Gara. Keep in mind, Upper Dublin has just 1 hit in the game. It was a bunt single by Michael Zicanofi in the top of the 4th. That just beat the throw from 3rd. Otherwise, we'd be talking about a no-hitter in a deficit. Just 1 hit for the Cardinals. Cardinals do not get many hits. Like the last time these two teams faced off each other, it went 7 innings. Upper Dublin walked off PW 2-1. PW scored the first run in the top of the 6th. Upper Dublin countered with 1 in the bottom of the 6th and got 1 in the bottom of the 7th. PW had 1 run and 5 hits in that one. And that was back on April 18th in Fort Washington. Leading off will be Tom Riley, 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts off Bottinger. Doesn't appear to have any bullpen action still. Bottinger with 8 strikeouts though. Tom Riley at the dish. He'll take one in the outside corner. 0-1 to Tom Riley. The Cardinal third baseman were in the top of the 6th. PW had threatened in the bottom of the 5th, but could not go home. 0-1. Swung on to right center, and it is caught by the center fielder. A nice job there by Noah Goldstein to retire. Tom Riley 1 out, top of the 6th, upper double 3, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2 for Joey Monaghan. He walked his first time and stole a base and fly out the center field his second time at the dish. So 0 for 1 is Monaghan at the plate against Bottinger in the dirt. 0-1. The reason why Upper Dublin has the lead is because of a few wild pitches. Upper Dublin actually has scored on a few wild pitches. No RBIs in this one for the Cards as that one's fouled off by Monaghan, the designated hitter. On deck is Jason O'Gara, who's 0 for 2 for strikeout and a fly out to right. Infielders are in the dirt for PW against the Cardinals in the Road Grays. Cardinals up 1. A little high. 1-2. Nearly grazed the uniform of Monaghan. There's a pitch. A little high. 2 balls on Monaghan. It looks like. For Dublin up 3-2. Had 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. PW has 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st. Oh, the outside low corner call. That's 2 strikes. Couple of balls and a couple of strikes. Bottinger trying to get his 9th K of the day. And that's line to second. High throw. Pacharo is there to cover. 2 down. In the top of the 6th, 3-2 Upper Dublin. That brings up Jason O'Gara, 0 for 2 for strikeout and a fly out to right. His last time on. So Canolfi will be on deck. High, 1-0. PW in the home half of the 6th will have Warner, Mitchell, and Longo at the dish. A 1-0 to count to O'Gara. In there for a called strike. 1-1 to count to O'Gara. 1-1 pitch by Bottinger is low in the dirt. 2-1. The PW has a few more non-league games this season. Senior Day against Abington, May 9th, 2017. PW is scheduled to close the season here in Plymouth, meeting against Radnor on May 18th. And that is going to be fouled to the left side of the infield, out of play. Now, Ronder's going to try to finish off Jason O'Gara. The deficit can remain 1. O'Gara at the dish will step back in. He's a right-handed hitter. The lefty Bottinger to Leals. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 9th strikeout of the game for Bottinger to retire the side. 1-2-3 go to Cardinals. No runs, hits, errors, no one left for 5.5. Upper Dublin 3, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. Great inning now for Bottinger. We'll see if he'll come for the top of the 7th. As Ryan Basaccio will go back to the mound for the Cardinals. PW will have Richie Werner, Matt Mitchell, and Stephen Longo at the plate. Suburban One Sports is the Suburban One League's premier high school sports authority, providing athletes and fans with the latest sports news, scores, and photos. Visit suburban1sports.com. That's www.suburban1sports.com. So we go to the bottom of the sixth. PW is down 3-2. Werner is going to be the first to get another crack at Ryan Bisaccio. The left fielder is 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out looking his first time up, his last time up at a sac bunt. Matt Mitchell will be second. He struck out and walked. And third will be Stephen Longo, the shortstop, who grounded to third his first time and flied out his fourth in the fourth inning. So at the plate will be Richie Werner. PW down the run in the bottom of the sixth. Upper Dublin is not an offensive power hitting team. And Upper Dublin with just one hit, yet 3 runs because of a couple of wild pitches from Bonninger. So here comes Lerner, 0 for 1 in the day. He had a sac bunt his last time up. Werner does not have any extra base hits this season. He has struck out 6 times on the year. Werner is the leadoff hitter in this home half of the sixth. PW down 1. There's a ball. Mitchell on deck. PW in 6 innings this year have scored 12 runs. That's going to be popped up. Calling it as a second baseman, and that's 1 away. To pop out to Matt Hebling, the second baseman. 1 out, the bottom of the 6th. Matt Mitchell at the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. PW just 2 runs on the day. Those came on the 2-run single by Pacharo in the home half of the first. That swung on and fouled back, 0-1 on Mitchell. Mitchell does not have any home runs this season. PW has hit 3 homers on the year. That's the same amount of home runs as the 1883 Philadelphia Phillies had, the inaugural Phillies team. And that's going to be another pop-up toward the edge of the infield, 2 away. 2 away in the bottom of the 6th as Justin Horn got the put out. It was a pop out to short. Now it's Stephen Longo who's 0 of 2 on the day. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, 3-2, Upper Dublin. Bisaccio has retired the last 3 hitters. So Longo is at the dish. Do not need a home run here, just need to get on base. And PW and Upper Dublin tied for last in the standings at 2 and 8, and that's a beautiful move. 1-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 go to Colonials, and we head to the top of the 7th. Upper Dublin leading 3-2 on PW. And I believe that's the second time today PW had been retired. 1-2-3 also had been retired in order in the second. Go to the top of the 7th. Looks like Chris Monero is going to the home plate umpire with a lineup change. We'll see if Bonninger is going to go back to the mound. And it looks like Bonninger's day will be done. He walked a few batters but struck out 9 and will be a new pitcher. Bonninger is done after 6 innings. A new pitcher looks like, we'll see who it is. There is a new pitcher. So it's 3-2 Upper Dublin heading to the top of the 7th. Batting in the 7th will be Ziganolfi, Bisaccio, and Horn. Will be a right-handed pitcher. It'll be uniform 37, Stephen Blum. Stephen Blum's now on the mound For the Colonials, Blum has a 10.84 ERA in 10.1 innings. This is his 5th appearance. He's allowed 24 hits, 26 runs, 16 earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts. He allowed a home run, 1 wild pitch, 3 hit by pitches, and allowed 2 base runners to steal a back. So Stephen Blum in relief of Bonninger. His problem was locating pitches and location from the ball during plate appearances because he allowed few runs on wild pitches. And Upper Dublin 1 hit in this game, if that was a hit. Otherwise, we'd be talking about a no-hitter. But Bonninger just 1 hit allowed. A very good effort, though. 2 hits, sorry. Just 2 hits. I'm sorry. But there wasn't a hit until the 4th inning. There was a single and a run from Hebling. In the 5th, we'll go to the top of the 7th, 3-2 Cardinals. It will be Michael Ziganolfi, who popped the third his first time up, had a bunt single his last time, but was caught stealing second. So Stephen Blum on the mound now, in relief, with a couple of more games to go on the week of May 8th. Monero trying to save his pitchers because of the pitch count limits set by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. So Ziganolfi, 1 for 2 on the day at the dish. 5 straight outs recorded by PW. Without permitting a base runner, it's Ziganolfi, the left fielder. High, 1-0. Stephen Blum on the mound. PW in the last of the 7th will have 1, 2, and 3 hitters. We'll have Mangan, Kornecki, and Pacharo. It's a good lineup to have, and that's going to be popped up in the infield. And it is going to be 1 out. And that is popped out the second. 6 in a row retired by the Colonials. So Blum on a few pitches retires. Ziganolfi. We have a new hitter for the Cardinals. And that'll be swung on and fouled off. 0-1. It 0-1 now. It's Julian Gimbel. And he is hit. Hit by pitch. Gimbel will take the base. He's batting in place of Bisaccio. And Gimbel will take first after getting hit. So Gimbel on first. 1 out, top of the 7th. And we'll go to the top of the order. It's Justin Horn. And he'll ground it past the hole for a base hit. Just the 3rd hit of the game allowed by PW. First hit of the day for Horn. Runners on first and second, 1 out for Matt Hebling, who was actually 1 for 1. He walked, has sacrificed bunt, singled, and scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 5th on a wild pitch. He also stole a base. So here's Matt Hebling with 1 out. Runners on first and second, top of the 7th. Cardinals lead 3-2. Upper Dublin looking for its first road win of the season and just its 5th win on the campaign. The 2-time defending Suburban One-American champs are in the lead. No, it's Horn so Horn on first, Gimbel on second. Hebling's at the plate. That was Blum's 4th hit by pitch on the season. He's had issues locating. That's going to be swung on, grounded, fouled to the first base line. 1 out in the top of the 7th. JT Breslin will be up next. He has 2 strikeouts and reached an error and scored in the top of the 3rd. Upper Dublin a 2 in the top of the third, 1 in the top of the fifth. PW 2 in the bottom of the first. It's 3-2 Cardinals. Upper Dublin looking to beat PW for the 7th straight time. High. Another ball on Hebling, a second baseman. And PW will have Manjin, Kronecki, and Pacharo in the bottom of the 7th. You have power. Kronecki and Pacharo have hit home runs this season. Blum delivers. We got a double steal. This is going to be a tough play, and that's going to be safe. Should be an error on the second baseman. PW's had issues this season handling the ball. Should be E to 4. And we had the bases loaded. 1 out. Top of the 7th. JT Breslin at the plate. And we're going to have a conference on the mound with an assistant coach. So at first, Julian Gimple, who was hit by pitch. At second is Justin Horn, who singled. And at first is Matt Hebling, who reached on an error. The last time a player in this series hit a home run was a grand slam, I believe, was Bobby Slagle back on April 25th, 2011. For PW, it was a 6-run second. PW won that game 9-4. That was seen on CITV. So it's been a while since PW's hit a and since we've seen a grand slam in the PW Upper Dublin series. That may have also been the last time PW hit a grand slam in the game, but JT Breslin looking to put this one maybe away. Now Gimble and Horn were going probably on contact anyway. It was going to be a double steal. So Blum on the mound. Double play will end the inning. He'll deliver, and it'll be swung on for 1. And he's safe. Run scores. He held on to the ball too long, and that's 4-2 Upper Dublin. Fielder's choice. No RBI there, as Breslin is safe. Hebling is out at second. Horn advances to third, and scoring was Gimble. It's 4-2 Upper Dublin. It's just the second time this season Upper Dublin has scored 4 times. The last time the Cardinals did that was in a 17-4 loss at Neshaminy on March 25th. No, actually not March 25th, March 29th. At the plate now is Max Weinberg, who has not gotten a hit. It's going to be a hit now. 1 run scores. And it's now 5-2. For the first time this season, Upper Dublin has scored 5 runs in the game. RBI single for Weinberg. It's 5-2. 2 runs across the plate with 2 outs. Now, for Tom Riley, who struck out twice and flied out to center. It's 5-2. 3 runs in the inning. Actually, 2 runs in the inning. Justin Horn just scored. We got runners on first and second for Tom Riley. This is the first time Upper Dublin has scored 5 or more runs in the game since May 18, 2016, an 8-7 loss against Cheltenham. Upper Dublin had gone 17 straight games scoring under 5 runs. And that was just 4 hits on the game for Upper Dublin. 5-2. This inning, Gimble and Horn have scored for Riley. That swung on and fouled off. Oh and 1. So we got Breslin on third, Weinberg on first. We got 2 outs. In the top of the 7th, PW cannot allow Breslin to score. Blum on the mound. In relief of Bottinger, that's going to be popped up to the left side. That's going to be out of play. Watch out, cars. It's into the street. 2 strikes now on Riley. Again, in the home half of the 7th, there'll be Jack Mangin, Brad Kornecki, and John Pacharo. And that's good news for PW because they can hit and get some runs. In fact, Mangin and Kornecki scored PW's lone runs in the bottom of the 1st. 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and I think that hit him. Bases will be loaded again. Second hit by pitch by Blum. He's hit Gimbel, and now he's hit Riley. So now on third is Breslin. Weinberg's on second. At first is Riley for Joey Monaghan, the 8th Cardinal to come to the plate. Cardinals have 2 runs already in the 7th. It's 5-2, Upper Dublin. Upper Dublin has now scored 32 runs on the year. Low, 0-1. The next edition of CITV Sports is scheduled to take place Wednesday, May 10th, 2017. Will be softball between Hatboro Horsham and Plymouth Whitemarsh. Circumstances and weather permit. Now will be looped to left, and it is dropped. Run scores. It will be an RBI single. Because he runs for it, I'll call it an RBI hit. 6-2 Upper Dublin. Coming in the score was Breslin. That's his 2nd run in the game. It's now Upper Dublin 6, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. That's a 3-run 7th and counting. RBI single for Monaghan. Now the 9th Cardinal to come to the plate, Jason O'Gara. He has not reached base today. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Bases are loaded. And believe it or not, we have a pinch runner, I believe, on third. That's going to be grounded. Throw to first is in time. 6-2. Upper Dublin to retire the side. It's going to be ground out to second. 9 men came in the plate. 3 runs scored. So 3 runs and a couple hits. 1 error. 3 men left on base. 6.5. It's Upper Dublin 6, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. PW needs to score 4 runs in order to extend the game or even win it with 5 with a new pitcher on the mound. It's going to be Justin Horn. He swapped from shortstop to the pitching mound. Bisaccio had not done bad, actually. After allowing 2 earned runs in the 1st, had settled down, struck out, I believe, 5 Colonials. No, Stephen Blum did not have that effective of inning. Hit a couple of batters for the Colonials. So now the pitcher of record for a loss right now would be Brett Bottinger, who had 6 innings. Wasn't good. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. This is the last inning of regulation. Upper Dublin's last 3 wins had been on a walk-off. And Upper Dublin has not won a road game since May 18th, 2016. And I believe that was at Springfield. No, it was actually May 17th, 2016. May 18th, 2016 was the last time Upper Dublin scored 5+ runs in a game before today. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, last hope for PW. PW has struggled mightily this season. 3-11. The loser of this game will be dead last in Suburban 1 American. Justin Horn is on the mound. He's gone from shortstop to the mound. He's in relief of Bisaccio, who went 6 innings. By the way, the runner on third, the pinch runner who was on third did not score, was Albert John. For Upper Dublin. And leading off the Colonials will actually look like be a pinch hitter to start the bottom of the inning. That's going to be Justin Gelfand at the plate. He is in instead of Mangan. So Gelfand at the dish. He's a senior. as Horn has had some difficulties so far. After Gelfin should be Brad Kornecki. This is Gelfin's first plate appearance of the game. He's batting .345. It's bottom of the 7th. It's last inning in regulation. PW down 6-2. Gelfin puts one into it. That is deep and that is outgoing and it's going to split the gap. Gelfin is hustling the second and he'll be in there with a leadoff double. Justin Gelfin does his job. And it's not over yet. Leadoff runner aboard in the bottom of the 7th. 6-2 Upper Dublin. PW with a runner in scoring position. Off Horn. And we'll have a pinch runner here. It will be Jack Mangin. He'll come back in the game. So Jack Mangin will come back. And now it will be Brad Kornecki. He struck out his last time up, but in his first 2 plate appearances, I scored both of his first 2 plate appearances as double, and he'll loop that in the infield. Throw to first. Foot is off the bag, but he gets him. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs to go. The game will end. Mangin will advance to third, and now it's John Pacharo, who had a 2-run single his first time up, walked in the third and struck out swinging in the 5th. So he's 1 for 2. And Pacharo has 1 home run on the season. It was at Quakertown on May 1st, a 9-1 PW win. Quakertown had been the top team in District 1 6A at the time. High 1-0 as Horn is trying to finish the deal on the mound. Pacharo's at the dish. Kevin Wiley, the catcher, should be next. He had an infield single his last time up, but had 2 lineouts before. 1-0. Low in the dirt, 2-0. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Upper Dublin up 6-2. 6 runs for Upper Dublin are the most in scoring. 7 and an 8-7 loss to Cheltenham in May of last year. It swung on and missed. 2-1 to Pacharo. Runner on third. It's Jack Mangin, who came on for Justin Gelfin, and that's going to be lined to second. Ground to second. Run will score. He's off the bag. He's safe. I'm going to call that an error. That's a fielder's choice. A run scores. It's 6-3 with 1 out. And now here's Kevin Wiley. As safe as the call. It would be a fielder's choice. I think the RBI should count. So Pacharo, I believe, has been the one in charge of all the runs, and Pacharo will be pinch run by Luca Amoroso. Now Kevin Wiley's at the plate. Amoroso will be on first. It's 6-3, 1 run across for the Colonials in this last of the 7th. As Mangin scored. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 6-3. It's Kevin Wiley, who's 1 for 3. Amoroso's on first. He'll swing and he'll lift and he'll hack it behind home plate, fouled off 0-1. He wants to put this game within 1, but you do not need a home run here if you're the Colonials. On deck will be Noah Goldstein, who's prone to striking out. But he has 2 singles. Noah Goldstein does, and that's going to be grounded. This could end it. There's 1, and that's going to get away. Fielder's choice. Riley will be safe at first. And Roche will be erased at second. So Noah Goldstein is the last hope. He's 2 for 3 with 2 infield hits and a ground out the third. Mangin scored in this bottom of the 7th. So it's 6-3. Just 1 run in the 7th. Runner on first. Justin Horn trying to finish it. In the dirt. Riley will retreat back to first. 1-0 to Goldstein. Should Goldstein get on, Jacob Nunez will represent the tying run. 1-0. 2-0. It was a little high, I believe. Swung on. That ball has wings to center field. It is outgoing. Caught. And that is the ball game. He put legs on that one, but it was to deep center. A fly out to center field will do the job, and that is the ball game. Final score is Upper Dublin 6, Plymouth Whitemarsh 2. Whitemarsh 3, actually, 6-3. Upper Dublin got 3 in the top of the 7th. PW got 1 in the bottom of the 7th. So 6-3 is your final. Upper Dublin improves to 3-8 in the American Conference. 5-9 on the season. PW, meanwhile, drops to 3-12 on the year, 2-9 in the American. PW is now sitting alone in last in the conference. And for Upper Dublin, it is the first time the Cardinals have won on the road since May 17, 2016. So final score from Plymouth meeting, Upper Dublin Cardinals 6, Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials 3. That's another edition of CITV Sports. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.